Sunshine's Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Richie Studer.
And a very pleasant good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into the hottest spot in town. And let's say this as I do every Friday. Ooh, it's Friday. We made it through another week, but you know what? Doing what we do is always something better that we gain during the week. Think about that. I tell you this every Friday. When you look back over and see what you accomplished or what your plans are to make it even better for the next week, you know, that's a reason to smile. But today it's just like any other day. I've got something that we're going to talk about. And I am really into this because I want to know more about holistic. The word holistic, number one. I want to learn more about this. But there's a book that I've been reading that I want to say that we have two very kind people that are in with me today. And we're going to talk about this book. And the fact of it is, it's really about love. It's really, it's a love story. It's truly a love story. I want to invite you in to be a part of this conversation. And I want to welcome Orna and Matthew to talk about this great book that I told David, I gotta get a little bit more because this book is really deep. Good morning and thank you for coming in today.
Oh, thank you, Sunshine.
Good morning.
I mean, listen, I want to find out more. And number one, when you see, this is the book right here, everybody. You can see it right here with the great big heart, getting it right the first time. And how many people get it wrong the first time? I mean, a lot of us.
Most of us.
Yeah.
Really?
Most people get it wrong, yeah. And so that's why this is really about getting it right this time.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be the first time.
Okay, this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
This time.
Okay, good.
Not the first time.
Well, tell me about the book. How did it come about? Who came up with this? So let's write this and put it in print. Why?
Well, we've been helping people transform their love lives since 2009. It's really become our passion. And one of the reasons it's our passion is because we like to say, between the two of us, we've pretty much made every mistake you can make in a relationship.
Yeah, before coming together. I mean, we didn't meet until after 40. And I think most of our clients are even above that in their 50s and 60s. And they're really struggling in love. And these days, love is treated like it's a luxury. And it's really our most underdeveloped skill.
Undeveloped skill.
Yes.
So when you say undeveloped skill, I'm being me. How do I put that in a skill that I fall in love with you?
Because the reality is, when you go through the dating process, most people want to rush through that. They want to get through the dating to get into the relationship. And in this modern age that we live in, we don't need a great love relationship to survive. And it is only our survival skills that highlight certain people so that they pop and we think of it as attraction, when actually it's just something that's familiar.
Really?
And that's how people get stuck in these repetitive patterns. So you said, why did we write this book? We wrote it because we both struggled in love. Choosing the wrong person almost cost me my life in my 20s. So it's really important to me that people have a new selection process and think of love as a skill. So that choosing a life partner isn't something that we think about like, ooh, I slipped on a banana peel and I fell in love. Like it was some kind of accident or something. I mean, an accident in every other part of our life is a bad thing, and yet we are sold this myth from the moment we pop out of the womb that everything in life worth having, we should develop a skill and practice and have a skill set. And yet the most important decision we'll ever make is who we share our life with.
Right.
And most people leave that to chance, like buying a lottery ticket.
Really? Okay, when you say this, my mind is going 50 miles per minute right now.
Okay.
When you say it's a skill, and we go back to the people today, everybody's online trying to find a love, which I don't believe it. I think when you said that it is a skill, when you say it doesn't take all this long thing of dating, right? But don't you think that's why we have so many that's messed up, because they're not getting to know each other?
Exactly. They're letting a feeling be their main decision. And that feeling is attraction, chemistry. Ooh, I get the vibes. So this must be my person, because it feels so easy at the beginning. But the truth is, sex, co-creation, that's instinctual. It's part of the species. But long-term, intimate, monogamous relationship is not instinctual. You are not born knowing how to maintain a relationship with somebody who's different from you.
Right.
Even though you have all that chemistry, you have that attraction, you really feel all the good feelings, it doesn't mean that you don't know how to communicate when you're upset. It doesn't mean that, you don't know that walking away from somebody when they're in the middle of talking to you because you don't like what they're saying probably isn't a good idea. It's not going to help your relationship.
Okay, when you say that, with the sex, a monogamous relationship, and all of this, don't you think that this is just me? And I'm coming from, I'm looking at it from a spiritual point with me. Okay, I believe that when we take the most powerful person out of it, that's where we mess up. That's me. I think, sure, when I meet you, now the first thing I'm going to do, it is that physical attraction because it's a visual. That's what I see. Sure, I may get those little goo goo gaga boo goo bumps, to say, oh, he makes me feel, but you're laughing, but because that happens with everybody when they do that, right? But when we slow this thing down, because everything that look good is not good for you.
Right.
Amen. I would agree 100%.
Okay.
So we really propose the idea of slow love. You're not going to know when you meet somebody. You're not going to know when you look in their eyes or you hear their voice. It doesn't work like that. And I agree. As a matter of fact, I did not trust myself to pick a partner after what happened to me in my 20s. And so later in life, I didn't have any kind of list or anything like that. People would say, oh, write down, the quality of the person you want. And no, I gave it all to God. I gave it all to God.
Okay, I want to hear that.
Yeah, because
okay.
I remember being on a camping trip in Big Sur, California, one of the most beautiful places on earth. And I got up before everybody on our last morning and I sat on this big flat rock looking out at the Pacific Ocean. And I said, hi, God, Orna here. I've done everything I could think of to work on myself, and I still don't have the guy. And so if I'm supposed to be all by myself, I'll be okay. I have a full life, but I really think I'm supposed to share my life with somebody. And so if I'm supposed to do something else, I'm out of ideas. So if I need to do something, could you land it in my lap or flash a neon sign and tell me what it is? And I got to tell you, I now know I was in the home stretch to this wonderful man.
Oh, look at that little smile. I mean, okay, it's like, because when I think when I hear you say, I was looking for that person, I couldn't find that person. But with my belief, when I say spiritual, he says that a woman is not supposed to look. The man is supposed to find me.
Well, that's, there is certainly a dynamic in relationship. And I think a lot of what's happened in contemporary society, and I'll just say it this way, not to be too blunt, but a lot of women date like they're men. And they date like men, meaning they're doing exactly what you said. They're going out looking for their guy, and the energetics are all off. See, men pretty much react to the energy that a woman is bringing. We're talking about heterosexual relationships. We can talk about other relationships as well, but we're talking about heterosexual relationships. Men react to the energy that the woman is bringing. So if a woman is filling in the space, meaning she's being the leader, she's taking charge, a lot of men are going to lean back and go, okay, great, I'll let you do all that work and I'll be here. Because, John Gray, who wrote Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, he used to joke that men have an efficiency gene, which if somebody else is doing it, they're going to let them do it. Whereas women are reciprocal. I always joke with my wife, there's the thank you cards for the thank you cards. Oh, I love your hair, thank you, I love your shoes, right? It's reciprocal. And so women are expecting men to be reciprocal, and men are sitting back and going, well, you're doing all the work, so I don't need to do anything, and the dynamics are all off.
Right.
So we need to switch that. We need to understand that when you do what you just did, which is you lean back, right, and you let him show up,
right, and
let him say, I choose you. Now you're not passive in that. You're not sitting waiting just for some guy to choose you. You're like, well, okay, you choose me, but this is what I'm looking for. And he goes, I can do that. My wife said to me very early on in our relationship, I was not raised as a man who would open a woman's car door. And
really?
I just wasn't raised that way. However, when we were dating, she turns to me and she says, you know, I'd feel really cherished when a man opens the car door for me. Do you think you could make an effort to do that? Mm-hmm. Now, look at that smile. Look at that hair, right? I thought, I want to make this woman happy. I want her to like me. So I'm happy to open the car door.
Okay.
Now, we got back to my hometown after we'd been dating for about 6 months. And I went to open my sister-in-law's car door, and she slapped my hands. I can get my own door. And I just turned to her and said, see, this is why I didn't open a woman's car door.
Okay, I hear that. But when I say, when with the two of you, now, you had been married before.
Oh, no.
We'd actually neither of us had been married
Oh,
before.
really?
Yes.
So the fact of it is, when you found each other, and who found whom first?
We actually met through a business networking group, and we were attending the same meeting at least once a month for over a year before we even talked to each other.
Really?
So we were in the same room. I knew who he was, he knew who I was, and it wasn't, I don't know, time, kismet. I mean, he's a handsome guy,
right.
And I knew that. But I was, you know, it was a business networking group. I was busy working my business. And so I don't know about the who found who first, because we were both sort of joined that group around the same time.
It had to be something to say, okay,
I found
something
her first.
changed.
I'm the one that reached out.
Yeah.
I'm the one that saw her.
What is it that
at
caused
my
you to
table.
reach out to her to say, okay, maybe there's a possibility there?
There was one day she was sitting, you know, we used to host a table, each of us. And we were part of what was called the welcoming committee. And because of that, we never sat at each other's table. Well, one day she had something, she couldn't be there early for that committee, so she wasn't hosting her own table, she sat at my table. And she's sitting there, and I don't know, it's like a light shining over.
So you had not
on her.
noticed her in the same room?
I'd seen her, I knew who she was.
But the light didn't shine then?
The light didn't shine then, but it did that day. And
Do
so
you think, I'm not cutting across it, but do you think loneliness have a part to play in that?
I think loneliness is a part that brings about a yearning where it makes people rush rather than take their time. Because really, the journey that we take our clients on, and that's in our book, is one of self-discovery, because the most important relationship you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself.
That's
And
exactly
so if
where I was
you're
going.
feeling lonely, nobody is going to fill that space inside. If you
Right.
are unhappy, nobody can make you happy. But if you're happy, your partner can certainly come along and make you happier, right? And studies have shown if you're in a happy, healthy relationship and there's a good support system there, everything in every part of your life gets better. You're more productive at work. If you survive illness or an injury faster, you recover faster. By every metric, your life is better when you're in a good relationship. And that's why we say there's a skill set that anybody can learn so that you can be a master of love, so that you can pick an ideal life partner. Now, an ideal life partner doesn't mean you're never going to have a conflict or a disagreement.
Of course.
That's part of the deal. Just like when you're single, life throws you curveballs, you will have challenges when you're coupled up. And most people want to throw in the towel because most people are conflict avoidant.
Wow.
And they think, oh my gosh, we're not on the same page, this must not be my person.
Okay.
As if they're not making a choice about who is the person that they want to be in it to win it with. Because they commit too soon. And we don't leave when there's a dysfunction or a toxicity that feels familiar. It feels more like attraction. And it's a big flaw in the system. Because what the part of our mind that highlights somebody for us when we don't know them is the familiar. Because that part of our mind, our subconscious mind, has one task. It has one job only, and that job is to keep you alive.
You keep saying system.
Yes.
Is it really a system
Yes.
to love?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a system. I think love, that four-letter word, I think sometimes we use it too openly. But I think sometimes we take that word. I don't think love is a system. Personal pronoun. Don't think love is a system. I think love is when two people are put together by the Creator to maintain what He has you here for, to plenish the earth, should I say, just use some slang terms. But I hear this and I understand. Maybe I'm looking at, I still have the word in my thought process, holistic.
Right.
holistic. Go deeper with holistic with that.
So, holistic, mind, body, and spirit. It's not just this attraction. It's not just this chemistry. Like Orna said, if you are lonely and you're seeking someone to fill that hole of loneliness, it's easy to choose wrong because you choose too quickly. You choose for the wrong reasons. Instead of letting God help you choose you, right? Help you choose. So you first got to get right with yourself, because somebody else isn't going to come along and make you right with yourself.
Right.
I always say it this way: if I don't like myself, and somebody comes along and says, "Wow, I really like you," it doesn't feel right. There's something wrong in the energetics because it doesn't match what's going on inside of me. And this is my story. This is what I was like in my 20s, right? I didn't like myself. And I used to use alcohol and other substances to try to deal with that. And then when I sobered up and I started looking at the fact that I was the one that was in control of my own happiness. I was the one that was in control of how I felt about myself. I started changing a lot of things. I started changing the actions I took. I started getting back in integrity with myself and my relationships. And I started noticing my mindset, right? And so when I finally met this woman, and we were having dinner one day and I made some self-deprecating joke, and she turns to me and she says, "Hey, be nice to this guy. You're perfect as you are. You don't need to change a thing." I didn't hear that in my head and argue with her and go, "Oh, just wait till you get to know me. You'll want me to change a whole bunch of stuff." Instead, I went, "Oh, wow, that feels right." Because I first got right with myself so that I could receive love from her. Because if I don't feel love inside of me for myself, I'm not going to be able to receive it from somebody else.
I hear you. I agree with that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're having a great talk today. I mean, I want you to be a part of this conversation. Maybe you're seeking love. Or maybe you've been in a relationship that has lasted forever and a day. Let me hear what your thoughts are as we continue to find out getting it right the first time. See how long will it last. Are you following the right steps? Are you incorporating, or is it you just fighting loneliness? I think a lot of us do. We're going to be back with more right here on Sunshine's Corner.
Good day, Pensacola. Welcome to a new segment on health and wellness sponsored by Baptist Healthcare in partnership with Sunshine's Corner. Every first Wednesday of the month during Sunshine's telecast, we're going to be bringing you information about health and wellness and ways to make sure we're improving the quality of your health care here in Pensacola. After all, we want to ensure that you're going to the right place at the right time and for the right reason, and that you don't feel alone. Can't wait to see you.
At FPL, we plan for storm season all year long. We're strengthening poles to better withstand severe weather. We're clearing lines to improve resiliency, and we're constantly training teams to act at a moment's notice. Because we're always working, always preparing. So when storms do hit, you can count on us. FPL, working for you every single day.
Hello Daphne, hello Lake Forest. My name is Dr. Brian Ramsey and I'm your Lake Forest president, and I'm running for District 6 City Council. I love this city, I love our community. I'm going to take what I've done in Lake Forest as your president and get into City Hall. On August the 26th, I want you to come out and vote. I'm running on transparency, accountability, and safety. The things that we can work together as a community to make our community better. My slogan is Lake Forest First, and together we will make a better community. My name is Dr. Brian Ramsey and I approve this message.
Take a ride on the Pensacola Beach Island Trolley. From now until September 4th, from 4 p.m. to midnight, tour Pensacola Beach for free on the Island Trolley. Our open-air trolleys allow riders to take in all the fun and sun of Pensacola Beach. Plus, riders will be able to track the trolley's location, making it easier for everyone to plan ahead and enjoy the ride. To learn more about the Pensacola Beach Island Trolley, head to visitpensacolabbeach.com/trolley-information. See you on the trolley.
And welcome back to this Friday edition of Sunshine's Corner. We're talking about something that is very important in the world today. There's something that I think everybody needs, and to understand what love really is. And we're talking with two authors that the book, right here that you will be able to purchase. Number one, you can go on Amazon, because I saw it is on Amazon that you can purchase the book and read it for yourself. There's the information on the screen right there that you can see. But I'm talking about if you're getting it right the first time, or if you're getting it right this time, because there's some others who have been through more than getting it right now, if you understand what I'm saying. This is what the point that I want to make, because what makes it different, when you see the mindset of a system, breaking hidden patterns, how is it that you educate your readers on the steps, that the process that they're trying to do to get it right? Because everybody wants to be loved.
Right.
But you don't want to have to continue to go through different things. What is it that making, I hear you say, I have for our clients, what are you educating your clients with to make them feel more with love?
Well, the first step, and this is the first section of the book, is awareness. You first have to be aware of that you are here spot on the map. We always use this analogy. If you go into the mall and you're looking for that fancy luggage store, and somebody scraped off the you are here spot on that map of the mall, and you're walking around, you're just wandering around hoping you're going to stumble into the store. And that's how so many of us approach love. We know what we want. We know the end goal.
Right.
We want to be married. We want to be in that partnership. But we're not clear on where we are right now.
Right.
We're not clear on what limiting beliefs we have. We're not clear on what strategies we're using for finding love. Are they good strategies?
Right.
We're not clear on our emotional behaviors in our relationship.
Right.
Are we able to manage our emotions, communicate our emotions in a way that's useful, respectful, all of that?
Can you share a story of one of your success stories with some of your clients?
Sure.
Oh, absolutely. We have tons of testimonials and endorsements. I just want to say this about that awareness piece, because the awareness isn't just about what's not working, because I know we're so hard on ourselves. I want to say, as a recovering perfectionist myself, that being perfect is too high a bar. So being aware of what's not working is important, but it's also important to know what is working. So the awareness goes on both sides. And that is the first section of the book, and it's the first section the first phase of the work when we have a client.
Right.
A client transformation is where they have an inner shift, so their outer world experience changes. So we coined this phrase we call your love imprint. And your love imprint is how you learned about love in your family of origin. Because we make a decision about love long before we know who we are or how the world works. Just like we learn to tie our shoes and walk and talk and do everything else. And we're all raised by flawed people who are raised by flawed people who are raised by flawed people, and on back through the ages. And that's why these hidden blocks are something that feel like a cycle or repetitive. And people think, somebody might say all women are fill in the blank, or all men are fill in the blank, because they keep finding that same kind of person with a different face. And at some point they're like, oh no, this is the same situation. And there are these cyclical patterns, and that comes from your love imprint. Your love imprint is made up of your limiting beliefs about love, those false beliefs like a false positive, your mental emotional patterns, and your behavioral strategies for giving and receiving love. Like maybe in your family you were rewarded for being excelling in school. Maybe it was your academics that were important, or maybe in your family sports were important. Right. You asked us to share a transformation story about a particular client. We had a particular client. We'll call her Lindsay. And Lindsay had a wonderful family, mom, dad, and a brother. She was the oldest of the two kids. And through her childhood, her dad was in and out of the hospital with severe heart problems. And so as a child, there was this doom that always hung over the family, where her dad would be rushed to the hospital, they didn't know if he would make it home. And it happened again and again and again and again. Her dad did pass when she was in her 20s, but he made it through that early part of her childhood. But being on that precipice of eggshells, of wondering if this person that was such an important part of her life was going to be there or not, ended up, interestingly enough, all of her relationships that we tracked, it was a narcissist and another narcissist and another narcissist. She'd been married to a narcissist, and she reached out to us when she ended her engagement with another man who ended up being a narcissist. And we thought, well, wow, isn't this interesting? Because a narcissist is somebody that puts you on eggshells. It was the same kind of feeling, even though she didn't have, it wasn't an exact match. We're so complex as human beings. So it's never an exact match. We always hear like girls marry their father and boys marry their mother. It's too on the nose. We're so much more complex than that. Whoever it is that raises you it's not about them, your love imprint, it's the decisions you make as that small child. And so I want to go back to Lindsay.
Hold on one second. Okay, we got a call on the phone. But also I want to think about this. I keep hearing this, but I also believe that in a word in the book that I think is a powerful book that everybody should read. It says that let not a man touch of a woman unless it is his own wife, and a woman unless it is her own husband. He said choose that over anything else, any kind of local matter you put on it, you put him first. And I read that, that came from the Bible. Good morning.
Good morning, Sonshine. How are you doing today?
It is Friday. How about you?
Yeah, I am so happy it's Friday. I love a Friday.
I hear you.
I wanted to say I am really enjoying the episode this morning, and I wanted to ask you, I have two questions for your guest this morning, because I love the blend of the way that they're talking about the impact that love has, like when by what happens to you as you age, that impact the decision that you make.
Always.
And it's more of like a therapy section. And so I love that. And so I wanted to ask them, for individuals, should the end goal for love lead you to marriage?
Say that again. Ask that again. You kind of broke up at the first. Say that first part of that question again.
Oh, should the end goal to love should lead to marriage? Is one question. And the other question, I want to know if they have heard of the studies that show that when females take birth control, it actually attracts them to the wrong type of person because of the, the pheromones and stuff that.
So you say if a woman takes birth control pills to stop getting pregnant, she's going to run into the wrong man?
So, I mean, it helps you, it actually draws you to the wrong type of person because of the pheromones, because the chemicals that's in the body actually attracts you to the wrong type of person.
What book is that?
No, it's just a study. It's studies that's out there. And so I just want to know, have they heard that? Have they seen
I never heard that in my life.
I don't know anything about that.
I've never heard that.
I know plenty of women who weren't on birth control who chose the wrong man.
Come on now.
Yeah, not on birth control. And there's plenty of women on birth control that have chosen the right person. So
you better don't take that birth control away.
Exactly. That gives a woman her independence and control of her body. So I've not heard that study. But I do want to answer your first question because he asked, should the goal of love be marriage? And I think that's a personal choice.
Right.
I'm not going to tell somebody how to live their life, and I don't want them to tell me how I'm going to live mine. So I think that's a personal choice. If somebody wants to get married or not get married, there's plenty of clients that we've had that are older that don't want to get married again, like have that legal thing between them.
Well, I think that goes back to what you said earlier about that you may not with that person because at first that could not be the person for you. Just because you dated that person, does that mean that you're going to marry that person?
Right.
Yeah, of course.
Because I mean, like, you get to know me. I know your name is Matthew, but then I got to get to know Matthew.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I want to really go more in depth in answering this question because there are 5 stages of relationship, and most people only lather and rinse, repeat the first 2. So we're all familiar with that intoxicating romance stage, right? Like, oops, I slipped on a banana peel and I fell in love. And it is intoxicating. And you want to talk about chemicals running through your body. Wow, you are on a chemical high. And studies have proven that sensation of bonding with somebody when you in that first attraction stage and dating stage is that romance stage. And then there is the hangover from that romance stage, which is the power struggle stage. And the thing about the romance stage is it can't be truncated. It cannot be shortened. It has to put gas in the tank of the relationship so you can make it through that power struggle stage.
Right.
And the power struggle stage is where the 2 people individuate because they are 2 individuals. And if they make it through that that power struggle. They choose the relationship over, fighting the ego desire, and they choose one another. They can move to the third stage, which is the stability stage of relationship. And that is sort of like a bonding of like you and me against the world kind of situation.
Right.
And then the fourth stage of relationship is really what this gentleman is talking about, our caller today, because the fourth stage of relationship, not the first, the fourth stage is the commitment stage. Now, this isn't about exclusivity, like, oh, I'm taking my profile down. You're not waiting to the fourth stage for that. You can go exclusive long before that. But the commitment stage says, I see you, I see who you are, Sonshine, you're beautiful, warts and all, and I choose you anyway. I know who you are, I don't need you to change. If things stay exactly the same from here until eternity, I'm choosing you as is, like you found them in the as is section in IKEA. And even though there might be a little scratch, a little ding, you're like, I'm gonna take this home and love it up. And then that fifth stage of relationship is that bliss or co-creation stage. And that's where there's so much love between the couple that it spills out of their community. Traditionally, that's having kids and raising them and making their community bigger and putting more love into the community. For older couples, it can be some kind of charity work or philanthropy work. But there's so much love between them, it spills over beyond them into their community.
Do you believe in premarital sex?
Oh yeah, we
Look
believe
at
that's a personal choice.
Your face, you went. Do you believe in premarital sex?
I do, yeah.
Why?
Well, I think there are certain things you need to know about a person before you commit to the rest of your life with them. And one of them is, are you compatible in that way? Now, I don't believe in, if you're looking for a relationship, having sex with anybody and everybody whenever.
Okay, now that's my next question, Matthew, because if you date this person, I'm going to check this one out. Then I'm going to check this one out.
No.
Then I'm going to check, come on, when is that roller coaster going to stop?
I do think people, especially when they're looking for love, they're looking for a relationship, I do think they go to sex too quickly. We always say, no sex before exclusivity. No sex before knowing that this person you're with.
No sex before marriage.
No sex before exclusivity.
Meaning you're not sleeping around.
No, I know what it means. I said no sex before marriage. I mean, but I caused my friend right here to laugh.
Well, look,
hold on, we got to go to break because he's telling me to go to break. Then we're coming back, okay? We're coming back with that one because that's powerful. We'll be back with more. Let me hear from you at 850-432-7768 right here on Sunshine's Corner.
You finally found the perfect car in Racing Blue. You even got them to throw in the LED fog lights for free. Auto Owners insures your car because some people never learn to parallel park. That's simple human sense.
Ask the Messick Insurance Agency in Pensacola if Auto Owners make sense for you.
Keep going, more. No, stop!
Come see us at Royal Appliance Outlet. We have refrigerators, washers and dryers, stoves, beautiful furniture from all of your name brands that you know and trust. Samsung, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, and GE, all at discount prices. Come visit us today at 1612 Face Boulevard. You're gonna love our easy credit to help you bring all your favorite furniture home. Come visit Royal Appliance Outlet.
It's baseball season. From heart-stopping plays to legendary victories, this is baseball at its finest. Grab your seat, bring your energy, and witness greatness live. Don't just watch it, feel it. The Pensacola Blue Wahoos are back, and you can watch Pensacola Blue Wahoos home games live on Fridays and Saturdays, only on Blab TV. Love the Blue Wahoos but can't watch? Get your tickets now.
The Emerald Coast Utilities Authority's state-of-the-art materials recycling facility processes recyclables for communities throughout the region, lowering need for more landfills. This highly efficient recycling service accepts glass, paper, cardboard, plastics, aluminum, and more. But we need your help. Please make sure your recyclables are clean of garbage, food, and liquids. Also, please remember that plastic shopping bags, foam products, or yard waste are not recyclable. To learn more, go to livegreenecua.com.
And welcome back to the hottest spot in town. You know I like to laugh, and I'll tell you, don't worry about it because Matthew, when I asked that question, his color changed a little bit. That's okay, I caught him off guard. but that's good. We're talking about a great book, a great conversation, and things I think, because when I say this, I think love is so important. I mean, it is so important. I've been married. I had the wrong one. You know, lasted for a long time, but the chemistry wasn't there. I thought I was so in love. It was that first but the more I got to know him, I was saying, I mean, you understand what I'm saying? And I thought, and then after we had a child, I said, okay, this is, but it takes two. And those are things where I was asking those questions about how is it, because I know I did the wrong thing. I know I did by choosing him. I thought that I could change it. And you can't do that. You're going to be in town tomorrow with this book somewhere here in Pensacola, right?
Yes.
What's tomorrow? What's
we're
going to
be
look like?
At Barnes & Noble on Airport and in Pensacola, 1 p.m. We're going to be signing books and answering questions. So I hope people come out and you can meet us in person, ask us your questions, and get the book, Barnes & Noble.
Exactly, right there on Airport Boulevard. You know exactly where it is. Go out and do it tomorrow. Right across the street. Everybody, we go over to Barnes & Noble. Come on. Make sure you go out tomorrow. If you've got questions, if you want to get to talk to them. And sometimes we are a little bit fearful of saying things aloud that what we want, you know? That, you may be sitting there saying, I want to ask this question, but I don't want to do it because sometimes they'll call me out. But no. No, but the fact of it is they can come and meet you tomorrow in person so that they can get to know you and even purchase a book so they can have a good read for the night before. Exactly. Now, let's go back to that birth control. I'm just kidding. No, that was cute. I mean, sir, I'm so sorry, Eric. I never read that survey. And I do a lot of searching, but I never heard that one. I don't think that would work. But anyways, we're talking about premarital sex. When I got my divorce and did a little more study, and when I say study, I believe in studying the book, the Bible. And the Bible tells me not to until I'm married, right? And how do you control that? Well, you believe in testing the car. That's just a slang term.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Why do you feel that's important?
Well, if we talk about the 4 tenets that make a healthy, lasting relationship, chemistry is one of them.
Right.
Having good chemistry with somebody. Communication, shared lifestyles, and shared values. So now chemistry is like yeast in bread. Without it, you got a cracker, and who wants a cracker?
That's right.
You're going to spend your rest of your life just eating a flat cracker. No, you want that big, fluffy, crunchy bread.
Okay.
Right?
You see, I got this visual. Okay, go ahead. Okay.
So if you wait. Now, I'm not saying everybody needs to have premarital sex.
Right.
But I'm saying if it's important to you to know that you can connect in that way.
Right.
And that you're on the same page physically with somebody, I don't see a problem with it.
Okay.
If you're in a committed relationship.
Okay.
Right?
Does sometimes that cause that relationship maybe not to be as committed because you gave in too quick?
Well, that's a different thing.
Okay.
Now, we certainly don't say give it away right away.
Yeah,
right?
we're not saying to give anything right away. As a matter of fact, I'm constantly telling our clients, look, we're not asking you to date like it's 1952 or something, but you have to delay sex if you're looking for a beloved partnership. So you need to delay it because women particularly chemically bond during the act of sex.
Yes, that's something that happens when you do.
That's right.
That's a connection there.
And so that's why we're saying, look, it's a personal choice whether somebody wants to wait until they're married or not for sex. So it's a personal choice, and we're going to let people have their personal choice.
Right.
And what we're saying is, if you're dating for a relationship, delaying the sex leaves your big prefrontal cortex online so you can evaluate for an ideal match.
Okay.
And we both know that if you squeeze the toothpaste out of the tube, you can't get it back in there.
Nope.
So that's why we say to delay sex.
Okay. So you teach your clients how to, with the pattern you're talking about, so that they can be more successful.
Correct.
And with that, do you have more, should I say, with the men, is it different with the men and the women when you're teaching? I mean, what is it with the two?
It's different in terms of the strategies when we get to dating.
Okay.
But up until then, when we're talking about them becoming aware of their own patterns, them looking at their emotional, their strategies, all of that stuff. That's the same journey. But when we get to dating, it changes. Because we broke it up into what we call leaders and responders, right? A leader is somebody who says, this is what I want, I'm gonna go get it, I'm gonna claim it, I'm gonna be in charge, I'm gonna move things forward. The responder says, well, wait a minute, I know that's where you're going, but I wanna go this way.
The
and I want to go that way.
responder gets to redirect. And so the responder isn't leading and moving the relationship forward, they're responding to the leader. So think of two ballroom dancers, right? If both people trying to lead,
not gonna work.
It's not a dance, right?
Exactly.
Both people trying to follow, you have less of a dance.
Right,
You may
exactly.
not be stepping on each other's feet as much, but it's still not pretty. So you need a leader and a responder.
Okay.
And so traditionally we thought of those energies and those energetics as masculine energy and feminine energy. And for us, we really wanted to take the gender roles out of it. Because we think it's really important that people understand, look, if you're a female who dates men and you are more comfortable in the leadership position and you'd rather have energetically be with a man who's a responder, great, go have at it. The problem is that a lot of women show up at the beginning of the relationship like the leader, pursuing, asking for the date, doing all the things like Matthew said earlier. A lot of women these days are dating like men. The problem comes in that 3 to 6 months into dating and they want the roles to switch. Because now you're with a man who wants to be in the responder position and he's not going to step up for you. And women are like, well, why doesn't he step up? Well, why doesn't he step up? Well, because it's not in alignment.
The dynamic was set from the beginning.
Correct. We teach people how to treat us from the moment we meet
Now
them.
that's a fact.
Yep. And part of that dance is knowing which role do you want to be in? Are you a leader? Is that your authentic positioning in the dating process and through a relationship, or are you a responder? Now, over time, you can certainly have, if you're with somebody for decades, I know in our house, sometimes it's opposite day, right? And I'm doing the thing Matthew usually does. Well, that's weird. It's opposite day. It's a moment. The longer you're together, you come more towards the middle, you're more like each other, right? I mean, people oftentimes say they look like their pets the longer they have the pets. You know what I'm saying? So. Once you're in a relationship, this becomes much more fluid, but in the dating process, it's really important to know, are you dating as a leader energetically, or are you dating as a responder energetically?
Okay. In your relationship, who's the responder and who's the leader? Let me guess. You're the leader.
No, ma'am.
But as we talk, you're the leader. It's like, but he responds, he'll respond, but then you'll take it back. I'm just looking at this right now.
This is the roles we play
Okay.
as coaches, as authors, right? This is roles we play in our business together.
Okay.
She is the CEO of our business.
Okay.
I'm the COO and CFO, right?
Okay.
So the roles in our business are different than the roles in our relationship.
Okay.
We always say it this way.
Should be.
We say no business in bed.
Okay.
Right? So there's a delineation in our life where here we're showing up as our work selves, as our author selves, our expert selves. But when we're in a relationship, I'm the leader and she's the responder.
I hear you. We got somebody that's want to ask you a question.
Okay, that sounds great.
Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Sonshine. How you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful.
We like the new hairstyle, first of all.
Thank you. You know how I change it.
Yes, ma'am. Also, I'd like to tell you today is my birthday.
Oh, happy
birthday! Happy birthday to you. You reading the book? You learning anything from this conversation we're having?
Yes, ma'am, Miss Sonshine. Miss Sonshine, I feel special. I'm talking about ladies that go to church. I hear a lot of ladies tell me they waiting on God to send them somebody. God send them somebody. But I found out after I talked to them 6 months later, they said that's the worst man they ever had in their life. So,
so what are you saying? Is that you're saying don't wait on God?
No, I'm saying when they say God, now how do they know God sent them? That's my question, because they done made somebody's unless a false God.
I think they answered that earlier because they said that. But Eddie, listen to this. I think they answered early because there's so many phases that we go through.
Right.
There's a
I
process.
always like to say it this way. Pray as if God is your only hope. Act as if God does not exist. You got to take action in the world.
Yep.
Pray all you want, give it to God, but if you don't take action, nothing's going to change.
And I just think you should come to Barnes & Noble tomorrow and pick up like a dozen books and pass them out at church on Sunday, the next day, because look, I believe in miracles, and miracles come from God, absolutely, from the Creator. And how do those miracles show up in our lives? Through people. They show up through people. And so if you're just waiting around, you still have to use your brains and your heart, to select somebody.
Right.
Instead of just thinking, oh my gosh, I have all the feels, let me just dive right in. Because all the feels is, we always say it like this, beware of instant intimacy. Beware of that instant connection, because you're not going to know when you meet your person. You're not going to know right when you look in their eyes or hear their voice. You're just not. It takes time to know if someone is your person.
Now, did that make you okay? What are you going to tell the guys at church to meet them at Barnes and Noble tomorrow?
So what they need to do, really, I need to tell them to give God a helping hand.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly.
I like that.
Eddie. I see his name on the screen. Okay, Eddie, thank you. Okay, my friend.
Yes, thank you. Have a great day.
Bye. I mean, give God a helping hand. Okay, but listen to this. We are talking about the book. We want you to be able to have a book of your own, so you can sit back in your quiet time with a hot cup of tea and read. Tomorrow, Barnes and Noble. What time? 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
So come on out there tomorrow. Bring your friends. There's the information on the screen. Right there at Barnes & Noble at 1200 Airport Boulevard from 1 until 3. Getting it right this time, Eddie. Getting it right this time, Eddie. Make sure you get some books. But the fact of it is, I want to talk about this too, because I look at the young people today. It's like, I mean, everything is so instantaneous. And when I see with the young people, they go through so many relationships. Okay, I'm going to ask this question there because he said go to break before I get this answer. But I want to talk about the younger people. Are you attracting younger people to come get your services as well? We'll be back with that with more. And if you've got a question, please call 850-432-7768. You can call or text right here on Sunshine's Corner.
My name's Kelly McLeod. I'm the owner of Bella Magazine. Bella is a source of uplifting and inspiring content for the women of Pensacola.
I think the magazine is just so thoughtfully done. There's a lot of attention to detail. The stories are really good.
You've got seriousness, you've got fun, education, fashion. It just encompasses everything.
Women are multidimensional, and so is Bella.
From the efficiency of American natural gas and the dependability of nuclear power, to the strength of Florida's sunshine and the flexibility of advanced battery storage systems, we leverage a diverse mix of energy sources to power our growing state, ensuring reliable, low-cost power for your home or business whenever you need it. FPL, working for you every single day.
Take a ride on the Pensacola Beach Island Trolley. From now until September 4th, from 4 p.m. to midnight, tour Pensacola Beach for free on the Island Trolley. Our open-air trolleys allow riders to take in all the fun and sun of Pensacola Beach. Plus, riders will be able to track the trolley's location, making it easier for everyone to plan ahead and enjoy the ride. To learn more about the Pensacola Beach Island Trolley, head to visitpensacolabbeach.com/trolley-information. See you on the trolley.
Well, I think it's all about local, and I'm a big believer in local. So I think anytime you can carry a message out locally, it's important. And I think it's anytime the person that delivers the service can also deliver the message, which is unusual. You have the people that actually deliver the project doing the talking, and I think that's a huge difference, and really makes a huge value difference for the consumer. So I'm really just so grateful that we have this local opportunity with Blab TV. My name is Quint Studer, and I am Blab TV.
And welcome back to the hottest spot in town. It is Sunshine's Corner. Well, here we believe in talking the way you never hear it anyplace else. We believe in having that difficult conversation, but you can feel good having that conversation here. My philosophy is this: anything that you want to come up with a better solution, be able to talk about it with more person than one. Because everybody has an idea, and when you see you can put those ideas together collectively, you're going to come up with something even better. It's not that my synopsis over here is different from yours. It's all going to be compiled. Mm-hmm. And I see that's what you're doing with your business, with how you help people. You're compiling their information to show them the process that you've had proven out, that it's this way, do it this way first, try this way. Even with the point when you said that even when you talk to a man and a woman, it's a way that you talk to them a little bit differently, because there's a difference in the way we are. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate that, because that is life. And I don't want people to think that love is a dime a dozen. Mm-mm. No. You want longevity. You want somebody that you can grow old with. We can sit on the porch and drink a cup of tea and watch the blossomness, to go back and talk about the eras. You said something too. I keep having these things roll back in my mind. Okay. That in any relationship, I tell, it's a girlfriend of mine, I tell her all the time, I said, honey, if you are talking about him and you all have not had a disagreement yet, something is wrong with that picture. No two people are going to think alike, always, in a marriage. No two people are going to think the same way. But if you disagree, I think it builds the relationship even stronger.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a whole section that we teach our clients, that's in the book, that we teach how to take conflict and turn it into a deeper connection.
Exactly.
Because our love grows deeper. The more time we spend together and the more things we overcome together, and that we continue to choose each other and work it out and get back on the same page.
Right. Who says I'm sorry first?
Oh, it depends on what the situation is.
There you go. Okay, but no, my point is that there are times that I have to say I'm sorry. Right. There are times that we both do things that I have to say I'm sorry. Yeah. But that does not mean that the relationship ends.
Correct.
I think that causes the relationship to get stronger.
Yes.
Most people are conflict avoidant. They don't like conflict. It doesn't feel good. And they don't know what to do with it. They just know it brings up all these feelings inside of them that they don't like. And whether we escalate or whether we're somebody who retreats, neither of those strategies are good. We find oftentimes with the men we work with, when they get upset, that they get hyper-logical. And they say, well, I'm not being emotional, I'm being logical. It's like, well, no,
so
you're being
I can't be
hyper-logical.
Yeah.
Right, I can't be triggered because I'm being logical. It's like, but you're using that logic in a way that is not respectful, it's not kind, it's not a way to bring two people together.
Exactly.
Right?
It's
You're
not
driving
about a
wedge.
repair. Yeah.
So it's about understanding yourself and knowing when your stuff comes up so you can take responsibility for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But do you think that sometimes in relationships, have you run into a situation like this where I'll say one is just okay, and the other one is a dictator?
Oh yeah, that's it's
what do you call that?
Well, in many ways it's a codependent relationship.
Oh, codependent. Good. Okay.
But because in a codependent relationship, one person is the hero and all their needs get met, and the other is a zero and none of their needs get met. So I say it like this: in a healthy relationship, this is the dynamic. Imagine you're on a lake in a rowboat. Sometimes you're both rowing the boat. Sometimes you're both chilling in the boat.
Exactly.
And sometimes you're rowing and your partner's chilling and vice versa.
Right.
And all four of those over time should be roughly equal.
I agree with that, yes.
Right? And so if you're doing all the heavy lifting in a relationship, that is a dysfunction in the relationship.
Okay.
If your needs aren't being met, the biggest mistake that people make through the dating process is they do not evaluate the person they're dating for their ability, their capacity to meet their needs.
Okay.
Needs are not negotiable. Wants are negotiable all day long. Like you're gonna buy a house. You would know what your needs are. I need to have this many bedrooms, this many bathrooms, blah, blah, blah. And then you have a list of wants, the extras. And those are, you can wiggle on. Your needs have to be met. Now, here's the deal. Your partner's not going to intuit what you need. You might have to tell them. They're not going to intuit what you want. Whoever you're dating, you have to be able to speak what's going on with you, make requests, see their ability and their capacity and their desire to meet your needs.
When you have a client like that, when you bring these things through your process,
right,
and you bring them to the forefront, and then they get the visual, they see. How do they accept it? How do they?
Well, the thing is we don't start with dating.
Okay.
We never start with dating. As a matter of fact, in this book, in Getting It Right This Time, there's one chapter on dating strategies, and it's in the 3rd section of the book. It's almost at the end of the book. So we never start with dating. So by the time we get to dating, we're actually assigning dating in a very specific way. And so they are open to change and do things differently because we've now had that inner shift, that inner transformation, where their limiting beliefs aren't holding them back.
Okay.
And so when you have that inner shift, the world opens up and new opportunities come to you.
Okay.
Right? And so they're not stuck behind those limiting beliefs.
Right.
I mean, your love imprint, when you meet a love imprint match, it's like a false positive. We're all familiar now from COVID, right? A false negative. We all got a lot of false negatives, right? It's negative, it's like, no, now it's positive. This is a false positive that you meet somebody and they're ding, 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 and all the yummy, yummy.
We got 1 minute.
Okay. So when that happens, people mistake that, and actually what it is the brain highlighting what is familiar.
Okay. Let's cover this real quickly because tomorrow's a big day.
Yes.
You're going to be there at Barnes & Noble.
Yes.
And you're going to be there at 1 o'clock with all these great, look, ladies and gentlemen, you see all this information on the screen. Make sure you're there tomorrow at 1200 Airport Boulevard at 1 o'clock until 3 o'clock and get to meet Matthew okay, we got one quick phone call. I'm going to do this. Oh my God. Okay. Caller, please make this very, very quick. Yes, good morning. Hello. Can you hear me now? Obviously, Violet did not want to answer. Hello, Violet. I can't do it any longer anyway. I'm so sorry, Violet. But I tell you what, Violet. Tomorrow, go by Airport Boulevard to Barnes & Noble. You can get to ask that question that you wanted to ask that we didn't get through today. Exactly. But I tell you, it has absolutely been fantastic. We got to get out of here. Tomorrow, 1 o'clock, Barnes & Noble. Listen, friends, I've got to go, but I want to leave it with you as I do every single day. Never, never, ever, ever lose your focus. Always remember, if you keep God first in whatever you do, I guarantee you're going to be a total success. So until Monday, for another day of sunshine, go out this weekend and buy a book. Until then, know that I love you with a perfect kind of love. Keep shining while I'm gone. Thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Sunshine's Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Richie Studer.